Good morning, traders. So, how do we trade the Dow Jones today? So, yesterday I spoke about this green line of the alligator, which is the lips, and basically pointed out that on the daily, every time we get to the lips, we tend to bounce off it and move to the upside. And this is a pretty strong uptrend on the daily. Okay, so basically, what we have got at the moment, I think we're going to have to do this on the 4 hour just to be a bit more accurate. Okay, there is the one trend line and there is the bottom trend line. Okay, so we have a megaphone formation. It's pretty much a flag. Okay, you can argue flag, channel, megaphone, whatever you want. It basically boils down to being a consolidation pattern. Okay. Now, there's no diversions on it. So normally what you'll want to see with a consolidation pattern is you want to see diversions, so indicating that we're moving back to the upside. But what we do have on the 4 hour here is a fairly significant inside bar here with confirmation and then a pullback to 50%. Okay, so I know somebody won't believe me. So there we go. Actually pull back even deeper to the 61.8 before buyers stepped in again. Okay, so what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a break of this alligator to the upside, and more than likely it'll break and then come back and test and then continue moving to the upside. So I'm looking for this extended move to the upside to continue, bottom line. And so yesterday you had an opportunity to get in long, okay, and that opportunity was pretty much off the low levels here. So off the low of the previous day, there was an opportunity to get a long in there, and you would have traded it pretty much up until that bar. So you see the level, and then you see there's indecision here, and you get out of it. Okay, so it's pulled back off that level quite nicely, and we are again flirting with the 200 EMA. Okay, now you can see how we've been flirting with the 200 EMA for 2 days now, and this is the third day that we're actually flirting with it. So I'll kind of expect possibly a little bit of a consolidation to the downside before we start heading up. Okay, now the levels to start watching for are obviously the high of yesterday. Okay, and then you're going to be looking at the high of Wednesday. So those are the two levels you need to watch for upside. So it's 265.75 and 266.21. Okay, so how do we play this today? So what I'm looking for is consolidation, and I have. So this was the previous breakout. Okay, we broke up, we came below it, and we're now testing it. And now just to point out something else, and I'll go to the hour for this one. Okay, so price broke down here. It came up to test this area and broke away. So this becomes that's our breakout level there, because obviously something's happened there. Okay, and you can see the 200 moving averages lines up with it. So we broke through, came back to test, broke through, formed a double bottom, inside bar, broke above this consolidation level. So you would expect a pullback to test it, and we've got the pullback here to test it. So this would have been an area to be long again, but it's too close to the close of the market that I wouldn't take it. Okay, so what I would expect is potentially another move down into this area of 264.50, where I get another opportunity to get long. And this next long could very well break that downward trend line at the moment. Okay, now another scenario that may play out is we may just roll over and come all the way back down to come and test this level down here at 26,400 again. Or we could even create another lower low and move down to 250 area. Okay, that is a possibility because we are in a consolidation pattern. So what we should actually be doing is looking for a short off the top for a move to the downside. And I'm just looking at the oscillators to give me a little bit of an indication, and I have an indication here that things are starting to look up. If we look at the alligator, we're starting to run flat. So everything here is starting to point for me that there is a potential move coming, and you can see how the momentum is changing, to the upside as well. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. So at this stage, it's patience. We may just pull back. There is a good chance that we pull back, possibly all the way down, maybe a double bottom, maybe a lower low, which is possible. But you need to watch for that and see what happens. So ideally, what we're waiting for is a break of this pattern. We break this pattern to the upside, everything's cool. Can't see it breaking to the downside, to be honest. I can see it continuing in the same format to the downside. But let's just pick up the lower level that I really would love to see. So I would love us to sort of come and tag this 26,230 area. That to me would be the absolute ideal entry for a long. Okay, but for now, we have a daily inside bar here. Okay, we had a strong rally, we've had a pullback. The pullback has pretty much come into the 61.8 or the 50%, sorry. So there's a 50% there. Okay, so yeah, I'm fairly bullish. Well, I'm very bullish on this. I'm not interested in shorting this at all. But this is a pretty tight consolidation pattern, and I'm expecting it to continue to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of my take on this at the moment. Wait for Europe, see what happens at Europe. We may sell off a little bit. Alternatively, we may just hover around here for most of the day up until the US opens and then make a decision what we're going to do. Okay, so that is me at the moment. I can't really give you any more levels that I can see. So for me at the moment, levels are secondary, price action is key. So what I'm looking for on the half hour is I'm looking for this kind of setup again. Okay, so I'm either looking for an engulfing bar like this or a pin bar, okay, or a inside bar, okay, and you can see there's pin bars. Let's see if we can find us an inside bar. There's engulfing, there's an inside bar there. So red to the downside, green inside body, the whole body fits inside this bar. Those are one of the three patterns I'm looking for. Alternatively, I'm looking for a double bottom. Okay, and we got a double bottom here. So I would look for another double bottom. So in other words, look to the left, pick up your levels on these tails here. If the price gets there, holds it and starts moving back up, we have an opportunity. Okay, and then the last thing is on this 200 moving average, we've broken through once, we came back up. So that's one break to the upside, two breaks to the downside, two breaks to the upside. Okay, so we're looking for third time lucky. And right now this is the third time to the downside, but we are in a bull trend, so take it with a pinch of salt. Okay, so that's my take on this at the moment. Alternatively, what you could do is look at the hour, and you see this, a retest of the 200 moving average on the hour would be ideal. So that would be my first prize, 264.50 for an entry to the long side. Okay, so a bit confusion at the moment. Some sellers hovering around here, but and they're obviously wanting a second move to the downside. So what they're saying is we've had a move down, we've retraced, and this was strong candles down, we're looking for a second move down. So they may still get it, but I really suspect the buyers are going to step back in this afternoon. The fact that they stepped in like they did here and pushed it up when the bears took control in this downward trend line. So I expect more of the same. If we do break this downward trend line, that's going to give us confidence that there's a fairly strong move to the upside coming. Okay, so in other words, my opinion is that we are poised for some further gains, and what you're looking for is you're looking for an entry. And at this stage, you are still forming lower lows. So we haven't formed a higher high yet. That was a previous high, still a lower high. Okay, kind of continuation diversions on it as well. So, and you see it did move, and often, the target for this continuation diversion is normally down here at 26,365. Okay, so that is a possibility. If that does happen, that is a perfect opportunity to get long. But yeah, somehow I suspect that's not going to happen. I suspect we're going to find some support, 26,450, somewhere around there, or even right where we are now. In other words, we just consolidate along. So if I extend this line, so we basically just keep bumping our head here and just consolidate down like this until the open, and then the buyers step in and drive a break above here. And obviously, as soon as they do that, there's a whole lot of stop losses that are sitting up here because people are shorting off the top of this line. There's a whole lot of stop losses that will get triggered, which will add fuel to the fire. Okay, so that's kind of my take. Looking to buy the dip, and it is starting to look fairly interesting. Okay, we do have a shoulder here, we do have a head, and this could potentially be the other shoulder forming. And your neckline is right here at 26574. Okay. So yeah, that's my take on this at the moment. Waiting for a level to find some support before we get back in on the long. Okay, and obviously, guys, pay attention to this downward trend line. If you see a rejection bar, and you can take it on half hour or 12 minutes, or the hour, but you can see there's the first rejection bar. Then it tries again, another rejection, another rejection, another rejection. Okay, so when you see rejection bars off a level, take your profit. Wait for it. If it does, reject, and then shoot through and close above it, you can always get back in on the trade. So you wait for the pullback and then get back in on it. But when you see this kind of stuff and you long from the bottom here, take your money, walk away, and wait for the next setup. Okay. So yeah. And sorry, I see something else here on the 12 minutes, and that's pretty much what we're doing at the moment, and it's consolidating. So there's our consolidation. There we go. So the levels you're looking to buy off are 26,480 or 26,480. Sorry, 26,480. Next level would be down the bottom here at 26,440. Okay, so currently those are the levels that I would watch for, and I wouldn't buy blindly off it. I'd wait for some confirmation, something like this. See an inside bar, there's an inside bar, gives you confirmation that you can buy off that level. Alligator is sleeping. We also got a flat 200 moving average, and I just want to zip across to the ichimoku quickly. We do have a bit of a crossover happening, but what I'm more interested in is the hour. So basically you can see we've had a crossover of Kijinsen and Tikinsen. Okay, we have broken through price on Chicken Span. So I would expect us to come and test this breakout of Kijinsen, worst case scenario, which is down here, which also lines up with the 200 moving average. Okay, if we look at this on the 4 hour, the trend is still down. Okay, but Ichimoku is pretty slow. So you need to take price action into consideration. And we are above the cloud. So technically, the bigger trend is up because we're above the cloud. Although we've had this crossover here, we haven't had a crossover or a twist in the cloud. We are pointing down, and when we point down, it is also an indication that there is more downside to come. But I'm still of the opinion that this is the flag, and we're just waiting for a double bottom or a higher low to form, and at that point you'll see the flag should break. Okay, so anyway guys, hope that helps, and keep those stops tight. I will catch up with you later. Enjoy your weekend. Cheers for now.